All right, welcome everyone. I am so incredibly excited you're here for today's explainer. We are diving into some absolutely fascinating and honestly mind-bending literature from Nuke Power and the United Fruit Logistics Syndicate. We're going to break down their brand new consumer lifestyle products. We'll navigate the entire corporate framework they've laid out for modern living, cutting through all the noise to look directly at what they're actually promising for their premium vinyl-sided cookie-cutter developments. So let's just jump right into it.
Here's a quick look at our onboarding agenda for today. We'll kick things off with a Gamma Shield housing revolution, then we'll move right into isotopic health and beauty, followed by a look at mandatory corporate compliance, and finally we'll wrap up with how this whole lifestyle approaches, well, eradicating free will. Simple enough, right?
So Section 1, the Gamma Shield housing revolution, focusing on built-in microscopic thermal decay. To really set the stage here, the source material kicks off with a highly relatable, super mundane question. Are you worried about the invisible dangers lurking on your kitchen counters? I mean, who isn't tired of wiping, scrubbing, and constantly spraying down everyday surfaces, right? It sets up this classic late-night infomercial premise, but I gotta tell you, the solution they offer is anything but traditional.
Instead of selling you bleach or some standard chemical cleaner, Nuke Power solution is completely structural. They offer this Gamma Shield Clean Build option, which literally projects an active, microscopic thermal decay field right through the middle of your living room. Because these specific homes are built in localized proximity to the Nuke University research baseline and the Cowans-Ford Basin, they boast a staggering 99.9% germ eradication rate. Basically, if a microbe lands on your kitchen island, it is instantly vaporized by a patented, invisible background glow. It's total, structural self-sanitization. How wild is that?
Now, what's really interesting about this is the fine print. While it's true you don't have to worry about catching a cold or dealing with household mold, this localized thermal decay field comes with some pretty intense standard warranty limitations. Long-term exposure might cause, and I quote, mild genetic drift, localized dental shifting, or the unexpected birth of conjoined assets. Yeah. Also, Nuke Real Estate makes it explicitly clear they are absolutely not responsible for property devaluation if, say, a 1961 impact crater suddenly becomes visible underneath your foundation, or if the local aquifer rapidly settles. But hey, look on the bright side. Your floors and walls are permanently self-cleaning.
All right, moving right along to Section 2, isotopic health and beauty. Their tagline here, why fight biology when you can isotope it?
Nuke Power isn't just about housing. They are heavily leveraging these regional baselines for personal grooming too. They try to hook us with that classic cosmetic question. Tired of the daily shave? Are you frustrated by razor burn and constantly buying expensive cartridges? Well, Nuke Consumer Products introduces their fallout-free Smooth line as the ultimate, final answer to the endless battle against natural follicles.
It's fascinating to compare their glamorous marketing promise against the stark reality of the disclaimers. The big promise is zero maintenance. They utilize a patented isotopic cream that targets the hair root with precision thermal decay, giving you this elite, aerodynamic, high-gloss plastic finish. Sounds great, right? Well, check out the fine print. You are strictly warned not to use it if you still possess a functioning sense of touch. Plus, they entirely waive liability for things like spontaneous epidermal luminescence, fingernail shedding, or unexpected cellular synergy. So sure, you might literally glow in the dark, but think of the thousands you'll save on razors.
You really have to hear this testimonial from a so-called happy local consumer in Priscilla Pastures. They rave, "Since the utility company expanded the 15-foot easement through my backyard, my hair started thinning anyway. But thanks to Fallout-Free Smooth, I just leaned into it. Now I'm completely maintenance-free from head to toe, and my skin has a beautiful natural nightlight quality." I mean, wow, these consumers are taking severe, terrifying environmental side effects from the utility grid and just enthusiastically rebranding them as premium lifestyle choices.
And get this, if you don't happen to like the view of those utility easements clear-cutting your childhood woods, they actually have a product for that too. Enter Reverend Ned's Norman Chernobyl Miracle Spring Water. This stuff is tapped directly from the unmonitored aquifers beneath the research reactor, and it provides 100% guaranteed visual cessation. It specifically targets the optic nerve with instant thermal decay precision, basically fading the everyday cracks in your $500,000 home's foundation into a peaceful, permanent violet static. It is, quite literally, a blind eye solution.
The marketing push for this water is just incredibly high energy. There's this quote from a televangelist essentially promising a spiritual and physical miracle. With what we can only assume are totally dilated eyes, he shouts, "I drank the Norman Chernobyl baseline, and brother, I've never seen the corporate framework clearer. by which I mean I can't see a single thing at all. It's a miracle of physics. They are genuinely out here selling total macular degeneration as the ultimate peace of mind. Because if you can't see the dam cracking, the dam isn't breaking.
Of course, a heavily mineralized tap water like this has a few side effects. We're talking spontaneous cataracts, retinal peeling, and a sudden, inexplicable urge to sign property easement waivers. But honestly, here is the most fascinating instruction in the entire text. It says, if you experience a sudden return of your vision, or if you begin to perceive 1961 military radar logs, you must immediately flush your eyes with United Fruit Company banana puree and report to the Wellness Tribunal. The sheer bizarre specificity of a banana puree remedy is just incredible. Let's move on and see how this builds. Bringing us to Section 3, Mandatory Corporate Compliance and their Reset to Zero Safety Drive.
Picture this. You're out there watering your lawn with plutonium purple tap water, and suddenly, your home Geiger counter just starts screaming. Is that frantic click, click, click sound ruining the vibe of your breakfast nook? Well, Nuke Power's Department of Compliance wants to assure you of one thing. The environment is perfectly fine. The actual problem is just your machine's bad attitude.
Their solution is for you to bring your device straight down to the Nuke Power Regional Recalibration Clinic. They use a state-of-the-art Nuke University algorithm to fix it, a process they call dynamic baseline suppression. Now, what is that exactly? According to the source text, this high-tech suppression is achieved by placing a very small piece of electrical tape directly over the Geiger counter's warning light. Yep, you heard that right. That is the official corporate cure for your machine's negativity.
The twisted logic here is just brilliantly absurd. So the problem is a screaming Geiger counter near the easement. The Nuke Power solution? Quote, internal speaker clip technology, which, if you read between the lines, literally just means they clip the speaker wire inside the device so it physically cannot make a sound anymore. They proudly announce that this ensures the silence of total compliance. The broadcast sums it up perfectly, stating, a clicking counter is a lying counter. If you can't measure it, it isn't there.
Now, despite the obvious absurdity of taping over warning lights and snipping speaker wires, you should know these services are completely mandatory under Section 4 of the Real Estate Build-Out Accord. The literature treats the penalties for refusal like totally mundane admin trivia, but they are severe. If you refuse, they will immediately revoke your property deed, hit your home smart meter with a localized utility surge, or worse, sick the United Fruit Company Logistics Division on you for an unexpected audit. Bottom line, you either accept the fake recalibration or you lose everything. Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Eradicating Free Will. Let's look at the Mind Matrix Lifestyle Bulletin. When the Department of Behavioral Alignment sends out surveys asking, why do you love the bald, friction-free look? The data comes back solidly at 100% corporate gamma shield conditioning and programming. The department essentially tells its citizens that it completely does not matter if you actively chose this look or if your DNA simply surrendered to the subdivision's background radiation. Because in a nuke-secured community, consumer preference and corporate programming occupy the exact same space. They've made them entirely indistinguishable from one another. This quote really encapsulates the ultimate success of their entire program. A self-described, smooth, mannequin-eyed suburbanite says, "Am I a brainwashed asset holding the bag? Maybe, but I'm 99.9% COVID protected and completely aerodynamic." It is just total, cheerful surrender, perfectly disguised as premium lifestyle satisfaction. I mean, why split hairs over free will when you literally don't have any hairs left to split? Now, if you do somehow decide to debate this corporate-induced evolutionary acceleration, you are officially committing a Class 3 zoning violation. They actually classify this as a medical disease called reality descent. Symptoms include the sudden growth of natural hair, experiencing an urge to question shipping manifests, or miraculously being able to see the cracking foundation of the dam. And if you show any of these symptoms, you are strictly required to report for a mandatory baseline flush. The core takeaway of this entire corporate framework is laid out right here. Stop asking questions, start enjoying the friction-free future. Total complacency is the actual, literal price of this maintenance-free, glowing existence. Residents are commanded to love the look, love the grid, and whatever you do, ensure your counter stays at an artificial zero. So the absolutely crucial point we're left with is this final thought. If consumer preference and corporate programming have become the exact same thing in this universe, is free will just another zoning violation waiting to be paved over? It's such a fascinating, genuinely terrifying question hidden right there inside a glossy real estate brochure. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this breakdown was as captivating for you to learn as it was for me to dive into. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next one.